Title: AITA for no longer inviting my brother to my house. Last weekend I had a small get-together for immediate family only, they are in our social bubble, for my son's birthday. My brother brought my nephew, 8 meters, to my house. He has a history of being destructive to people's homes, and my brother and Sil do not discipline him. According to them, he just doesn't listen, so they just give him what he wants. This is not the first time my nephew has destroyed my house, or other relatives for that matter, and I finally had enough. The last time they were over, my son, 17 meters, him mistreating our cat. After they left and saw that he dumped out all of our soap and shampoo in the bathroom on the floor when my daughter, 15F, slipped on the tiles. This last visit he drew all over a brand new couch with the markers Sil brought for him to color with. I had asked her to not let him color on the couch, instead he should color at the kitchen table so it could be washed off. When I confronted my Sil about it, she told me, "It's just a couch, you can get slipcovers." I told her that wasn't the point, that once again he has come to my house and destroyed something and I was tired of having to pay to clean, replace the things he destroyed. My brother intervened and said that I was being overdramatic and that he was just a kid. I told my brother that they needed to leave. The next day I called him and told him that they weren't welcome back into my house and that they could either pay for someone to come clean the couch or for the cost of a replacement. My brother told me that it was never going to happen. An hour later I get a call from my other sister who congratulated me for sticking to my guns and she plans to do the same. My mom got wind of this and called me and told me that I was being out of line and that nephew doesn't mean to do this and that it was an accident. That according to Sil you can barely see it and I was just trying to get a free couch. So I sent my mom a picture of the doodles on my couch that nephew made. She now agrees my brother should absolutely pay to clean the couch or replace it, but that I am going too far by banning them from my home. I told her I disagreed and that he can always go to her house and destroy her stuff if she wants to see us all together. Title: AITA for telling my Mill it's weird that she thinks she gets a say on things relating to my daughter. My Mill is mostly a person who is easy to get along with, but for some reason, the lady has snapped after we announced that I'm pregnant. We let her get out all of her excitement, but didn't really encourage it. She keeps doing this weird thing where she refers to the baby as her baby. If I can be honest, I'm sure it'll change as time goes on, but I find the whole thing rather boring. Congrats, someone who I just so happened to be married to shot a load in me without a condom, and now I'm knocked up. It's really not that exciting or interesting, and I cannot relate to women who never shut up about it. It's like the only thing anyone wants to talk to me about. Anyway, Mill was over a few weeks ago and started talking names. She told me to give her a list and she'd go through and let us know which ones she liked or didn't like. I asked her why that was necessary, and she said, "Oh, you know. Just making sure we're on the same page." I asked for clarification to that, why we'd need to be on the same page, and she started getting a bit cagey about it. "Oh, you know. Just one of those things. Gotta make sure everyone's on board with the name." At that point, I cleared my throat and said, very kindly but firmly, "There's no reason for anyone else to be on board with the names we've chosen." She got a bit upset at that and said, "Well, it's my grandchild." "My baby," I said. "No, she's not your baby." "Grandchild, yes. But you don't think you get a say in anything involving her, do you? Like, you don't think you get any say in her name, how she's raised, what schools she goes to, how she dresses, any of it, right? You know you're not the parent here, right?" Well, she blew up. "Calling me ungrateful, for what? Bitch, you aren't doing anything, snobby, snooty, the whole shebang." I just got up and said I was bored with this conversation and went to the backyard to go read in the sun while she melted down to my husband about how I'm stealing all the joy from her and that don't I get that grandma is the most important role she'll ever play. My husband told her to knock off the theatrics and go home, and now she's going all over social media playing up what a victim she is because, I guess now we're keeping her baby away, which isn't true. The little fucker still hasn't been born yet. I've had so much pushback from family telling us we need to just get over it and learn to accept that grandma's going to be around and that yeah, maybe she should get a say in some things, after all, it's her grandchild. I'm at a loss here. Maybe this is some weird cultural thing, where in the Southwest US, everyone is some bland mix of white, no religious stuff other than the usual fake Catholic, C&E, stuff. AITA, edit. Well, this was certainly a post. I'm glad I'm generally not the asshole. The sexist claims that I'm trying to be edgy, and not like the other girls, are honestly depressing. I didn't expect people to get so upset because a woman would dare not think having a baby is the most OMG sacred beautiful lovely thing or whatever. I hope those of you who think it's not like the other girls think and maybe get out there and explore what different women are actually like, and not just the ones in your immediate lives. Women come in all shapes and sizes, attitudes and personalities. Being one way is not a condemnation of how other women are. Being bored by childbirth and all of that isn't a condemnation for those who think it's a big deal or a miracle. Swearing and being inappropriate, being edgy, or tryhard, is such a very Reddit thing to say about a woman who doesn't behave the way you think she should. Title: AITA for setting up my ex-husband look like a bad father. I'll keep this short. When my and ex's daughter, Megan, was turning 13, she wanted a tiered Harry Potter cake. She loves the movies. She was very specific in what she wanted. I told her as gently as I could that I didn't think we'd be able to afford that. And my ex took that opportunity to be the fun parent, and said in a doting voice, "Oh baby, don't worry, Daddy will get you your cake." She was all smiles and ran off to get her bags. I told him if he was going to promise this to order it early, 'cause bakeries require advance order. He got all huffy and said he knew what the fuck he was doing, and I should mind my business. I said anything involving our daughter is my business. He said he didn't need my help, and I should just handle the birthday party and he'd get the cake. I said okay, then they left for the weekend. I know my ex. He puts things off that aren't about him. I knew he was going to forget to order. Usually I'd pester him so he wouldn't forget. But he said he didn't need my help, so I decided to not bring it up unless he did. But I did call a friend I have who started decorating cakes to order the cake from her. It cost a bit more than I'd have liked, but not as much as I'd been worried it would. Well, he never brought the cake up again. At least not until the day before her birthday, where he called me, frantic. He forgot to order the cake. And now none of the bakeries will take his order without tacking on a massive fee, 'cause there's no way they can have the cake ready unless they focus their full staff on one cake. I was going to tell him not to worry, I ordered the cake for him. But then he says, "Why didn't you remind me?" I just snapped and said he needed to figure this out and he better have a cake tomorrow. Then I hung up. He brought a cake. A plain white sheet cake with red trim and one of those print-out sugar decals on the front of Harry Potter and his two friends. And a wax 11 candle. She was turning 13. He revealed the cake during her party, so everyone was sitting quiet, and Megan looked heartbroken and tried to be nice, but she asked what happened to the cake she wanted. X floundered and I let him for a few seconds before laughing, "Haha, just kidding." And then I went and pulled the cake I ordered from the kitchen. Megan lit up and everyone laughed, and it was just one huge joke, and the rest of the party went great. But after everyone went home and Megan was in her room, X tried to lay into me about humiliating him and letting him look like a bad father, and I told him the only one who made him look bad was him. I think I was justified, but some mutual friends think I should have just told him I got the cake to keep things civil between us. AITA, edit. I never told Megan or even planned to tell her, not until she was older maybe, but she started acting very chilly to X for a long while after her birthday party, and when he asked her why, she admitted to almost walking into the kitchen when he and I were whisper arguing the night of her birthday. She found out he'd completely forgotten to order the cake, and the joke cake was actually the real cake he got her. So she was very cross with him for a long time afterwards. Edit 2. To everyone thinking I purposefully waited to have him reveal the joke cake before showing the cake I ordered, I didn't. I'd planned on pulling him aside before the party and letting him know I just went ahead and ordered a cake for him. Then we'd take in the big cake and leave whatever he brought in the kitchen. But he showed up after all the guests had arrived. So I didn't have time to grab him before he sat the sheet cake box on the dining room table where everyone saw it.